Now, there seems to be a correlation, you can correct me if I'm wrong, between an increase in tech innovation in any country and a decrease in the demand for human labor in that country. Do you think tech innovation in Zambia does pose a threat to the jobs of people who are largely dependent, or companies that are largely dependent on this human resource for it to work?
I think I've touched on this point just in my previous comments. And I think, like I mentioned, yes, with the coming of tech, there is going to be a displacement of certain jobs, right? But when you look at Zambia as an economy, still very young, there's still a lot to be done to get to a point where you can say, okay, now we have a huge middle class, right? At the moment, we don't have that. So there's still a lot of opportunity to grow. And this is why I'm saying it's important for us to get to, one, we need to identify future skills, right? So this is a collaborative effort between government and the private sector and anybody in between to really identify what are the skills that are important for the jobs of the future, right? We identify that. We have the labor force. We have a very young population. We've talked about this. How do we work to get these skills to our young people, right? These are going to be very important. Number one, we need to really rethink education. Really redesign the curricula, right? Really move away from this theory-based learning to like learning by doing. It's very important that we get our young people to have very critical thinking skills. Very important for us to do that. Digital skills and like push STEM skills. These are going to be skills that are going to be very important in jobs as we move forward, right? So now let's figure out how to get these skills to the young people, right? So at Yango, we have recognized this as being a huge issue, especially for the market, right? Where we need to upskill local talent. So what we're doing is we'll be launching Yango Education, right? So Yango Education is a series of courses that are developed by Yango engineers, right? So the idea is to get these skills to young people, right? The first course that we'll be offering is Python and SQL for data analysis, right? So that's just the start. So Zambia is the first market in Africa to get this offering within the countries that we're present, right? And it's things like that and innovations like that that are going to make the difference, right? Because what you don't want is to get huge advancement in tech, but then not have the people that are able to work in those places, right? Where you're always having to get experts to come in and do the jobs, right? So we really need to start working on getting these skills to the young people. And when you get those skills, I mean, we're seeing it today. You don't even need to work for a Zambian company. You can work remotely and you work for a company that's somewhere else in the world. It's irrelevant where you are in the world. Do you have the skill? That's what's important. So that's where the real conversation is can we get the right skills to our people to make them be able to work effectively and contribute in their jobs and add value when you look at the grander scale of like economic development. So yes, some jobs will be displaced, but with that there will come more opportunity for more people to be able to contribute effectively, but we need to make sure that they have the right skills to be able to do that.